This is going to be hopefully a fairly short video on how to use merge blocks in Create Serendipity. So I'm on the home screen and I can either choose design a block from scratch or the block work table. They both take me to the same place. I'm going to click on that and it will have defaulted to whatever you used last. So on the new block tab, we have pieced, we have applique, we have pieced and applique, and the last one is Create Serendipity. If I click on that, then I get several options for block styles. The first thing we have to do is have blocks in our sketchbook to use. So I'm going to go ahead and click Open Library, and the block that Eileen was asking about on Facebook was a 9-patch. So I'm going to scroll down to the 9-patch blocks. And I know I found it earlier, so I just got to find it again. Maybe. There it is, right there. It's the Rolling Stone. So I'm going to select that and add it to the sketchbook. And she wanted to merge something into the on-point square that's in the corner. So whatever block that you want to merge into that, you also will need to add that to your sketchbook. So let's just say it was this block. I'm going to add it to the sketchbook. You can have lots of things in your sketchbook, but to use merge blocks, both the block that you're merging into and the block that you want to merge into that block have to be in your sketchbook. So I'm going to say close. I'm going to click on merge blocks. And before I get started, I would strongly recommend, if you haven't ever used it before, to click on the help screen, and it is going to take you to EQ's support article on serendipity blocks. So I'm going to skip over the first ones, but it's really well written, in my opinion. And I think I went too far. So I'm going to stop here at merge blocks. So when the window opens for the merge blocks, on the left-hand side are all the blocks that you can merge something into. And on the right-hand side are all the blocks that can be merged into a block. So they will not be exactly the same blocks on both sides. Probably everything you have in your sketchbook as far as a block will be on the right side, but it won't necessarily be on the left side. So let's scroll down a little further and see why that is. Down here where it says background requirements, the first thing is the blocks have to have been drawn in Easy Draw to have something merged into them. You can use a block that was drawn in PolyDraw to put into another block, but you can't use a PolyDraw block and then put something else into it. They can be from the library, or you can have drawn them yourself. And though the block has to have at least one parallelogram that it says it takes up more of the space than another patch, but that's not necessarily true because you can merge into a 4-patch, but not a 9-patch. But the parallelogram is important. You can merge into squares, you can merge into rectangles, you can merge into diamonds. You cannot merge into triangles, circles, or other shapes like that. And then the size of the parallelogram has to take up a certain amount of space. So when you experiment, the 9-patch doesn't work for a block to merge into, but the 4-patch does. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I guess it's the percentage of the block it's taking up. So let's go back to our work table. So again, I'm on the Create Serendipity and I clicked on Merge Blocks. And over on the left-hand side, you will see these are the blocks that EQ says I can merge into. So I can click on the 4-patch and then I can choose something to merge into it over on the right-hand side. And I can also choose where I want to merge it into. If I chose that, I can change the direction of it by clicking on it. Okay, but this, as is, I cannot merge into it. So we're going to fake Electric Quilt out. So we're going to close this. We're going to go View Project Sketchbook. We're going to open this block that we want to merge into the corners. So you can either double click or say Edit. Once I get it onto my work table, what I need to do is just make a section that is bigger than the rest of the block. So I'm going to use my pick tool, and the easiest lines to add back in are going to be the ones that are either horizontal or vertical. So I'm going to click that and either delete here or on my keyboard. And I'm also going to click that one and delete. So now I have a rectangle that is bigger, has a bigger percentage of the block. I'm going to click on Add to Project Sketchbook. So now it's in there. So now I can say New Block, Create Serendipity, if it's not already selected, Merge Blocks, and here's my block down here now. So I click on that, and it automatically defaulted to that bigger space, but I can click into the smaller one now because it does meet the requirements of being a parallelogram. So if that's the block I want, great. If not, I can scroll down until I find it. So I had said, let's put that one in there. And once I have it in there, I cannot add it more than once. I can add to Sketchbook. So here's one of the limitations of merge blocks. That new block does not get added over here, even though there is still a bigger space. Where it does get added is here. So I could keep putting this block in over and over again, but that's not what I want to do. I want this block to be in all four corners. So I'm finished. I can see that it was added to my sketchbook. I'm going to click Closed. I'm going to click on View Project Sketchbook, select that new block and say Edit. Now, to get it into these other guys, I am going to, and I have my screen small because of my recording, but I want to turn on the first snap to options, which is snap to grid points on the work table. I'm going to use my pick tool, and I am going to click and drag to select that block. Once I have it selected, I'm going to click on Advanced Symmetry, click Clone, and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees because I want to put it in this corner. And then you need to get your cursor right over that crossed arrow in the center. So I'm going to click on it once I have that and drag it over here. And I want to snap it into place. Now, I could probably reduce my snaps so that it's not looking for... I also don't need this on. Let's actually make them, let's see what happens with 6. I need to make sure that I get that snapped in exactly. I want these sitting on top of each other, the nodes right here and right here. Clone, rotate 90. I'm going to snap it into place. Okay, and I'm going to clone it again, rotate 90. And drag it into place, and it looks like it's snapped in properly. Sometimes you'll get nodes that are kind of offset. You don't want that. I need to come back in and add my 2 lines here and here, and yeah, there should be a node there. And then to check it, I'm going to click on Color, and they're all there. Yay! And then I can go ahead and color my block once I have it, or even before. I can click Add to Project Sketchbook. So that's a fairly fast way to put different blocks into those corners.